I was just talking to Gavin about that, and I've been really thinking about it, and that's what my legacy is going to be at the end of the day, the guy who's fought anyone and everyone. And I was just saying, like, I would be a coward if I tried to choose an easy route to the top, and I just want to, I want to be the guy that's known that's fought the best guys in the world, and that's all I'm out here to do, is to test myself and to grow as a fighter and to eventually reach the top.
I was gonna say, I mean, in some ways, it's like a compliment, right? They keep giving you guys that have better records each time out. I mean, do you take that as maybe a sign of respect from the organization?
A little bit. I mean, I really don't think too much into it. I'm sure there's not a whole lot of guys out there, especially in the top 10, top 15, that wants to fight a undefeated Russian that's just coming up the rankings that not a lot of people know. But I'm that guy, and I find some type of pleasure to give a guy his first loss. So, that's what I look at in all this, when they offer me that opponent. And I'm usually not one to turn down a fight. I don't think I've ever turned down a fight, actually. So here I am a few days away and get to do this thing again.
Didn't necessarily get the results you wanted the last couple times out, but just curious what you thought about your performances. I mean, you are taking guys to the distance. You're putting on good fights. I mean, do you take any comfort in your performance?
I mean, a little bit, but not really, man. I just, like my last fight, for instance, it was a close fight. You can argue both ways, but at the end of the day, I didn't get my hand raised. And why? Because I didn't do enough. And, when I look back at that, it's just like, what is it that's holding me back from getting to the next level? And, it's those little moments and like taking risks, taking chances, and that's just something I've been focusing a lot in my life and in training, is just taking more chances in life. And I really think that will start to translate in my fighting career. And I feel like I'm growing a lot. I feel, I'm on a fresh slate, if you want to call it that. You could say I'm, 0-2 in my last two fights, but I see myself as 0-0. I'm a new. It sounds cheesy to say, but I'm a new person, and I'm starting fresh, and I'm having fun with this again. I kind of grew kind of bitter over the sport over the last year, and I put a lot of pressure on myself when I became a dad. Like, I had to financially provide for my family, and that was just an extra pressure I didn't really need, because I never got into this sport for money. I got into this to be the best in the world, and I knew eventually money would come. But you start making decent money, and then you like hear all the topics about fighter pay. You can get bitter over the sport real quick. And so I just, taking financials away, like, I tried to get back to my roots. Like, what got me to the UFC? I was fighting for 10 free tickets. I fought for free my first pro fight, and then I fought for $500. Like, it was never about the money. It was just to be the best. And that's kind of the mindset I have again. And money is nice. I can always make money because I know how to work hard. So, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just thinking about winning and having fun and going out there and performing.
That's awesome. When did you reach that realization? Was it after the last fight, or?
I had a little bit after the zombie fight, because that fight I was very emotional. I've never had that type of emotion like before a fight. And I think it's because going in the Gavin Tucker fight, like, I was just this, like, there was not a man that was going to beat me that night, because I had like a different kind of, even my wife was about to give birth, but I was very protective. And like, for the first time, I think just randomly at like coffee shops, like, a guy was smoking a cigarette, and I like snapped on the guy. I was like, "Hey, my wife's pregnant." Like, but that's not who I am. But it was like my protective dad instinct. And then it's like my son actually came into the world, and it changed a whole lot of things. And I don't know. It just, like I said before, it became a financial thing, and I didn't really like take time to adapt becoming a father. I just tried to like force all these things I'm supposed to, like, that I think I'm supposed to do, but no one knows what to do, especially for that first child in the first year of life. But I think I'm growing, I'm adapting, and I'm just becoming a better father, better human, better person. I'm grounded, I'm connected with my family, I'm connected with God again, and I feel good. I feel enlightened, refreshed, and I'm happy.
Talk about the preparation for this fight, I guess. Was it just like nonstop wrestling all day, every day?
Kind of, man. I reached out to Sean Shelby. It's funny because after the Emmett fight, it was so close that I wanted to just almost get right back in there right away. And then after about a month, I was like, okay, I'll take a little time after I put some pounds on and took some time off. But I had reached out to Sean in like mid-January. I was in Hawaii, and I told him I'd like to take a little time off, maybe fight in around May, June. And right in February, he offered me Mobsar, and I was like, okay, that's 17 weeks. Sweet. We'll take it. But once I got the bout agreement, but once I signed the bout agreement, I can't shut my mind off. So I've pretty much been going nonstop. But I've kept it fun. I went and trained different places. I did a little secret mini Russian training camp for 3 weeks, and then I went to Denver, Colorado. I kind of had the Rocky mindset that I'm fighting freaking Drago, undefeated Drago, and here I am, Rocky. So I went to Colorado Mountains, trained with Justin Gagey for a month. I lived at his house, and then I came back to Vegas. It was my son. I couldn't miss his birthday, son's first birthday. Then I still had like 9 weeks to prepare, so I just been grinding here, and I'm in the best shape of my life, and I don't think I could be any more prepared.
Last thing for me, kind of knowing the realizations you've had, the mindset you've had. I mean, does the result of the fight matter to you, or is this more about just the performance that you go in there, you do your best, you enjoy it, you take it in? Is that enough?
I really do see myself winning this fight, but it's not about for me, it's not about the result, the trophy, the performance. It's about me going in there and being free and having fun with this. I think I've been in this sport for a while now, and I've been there at the top. I've been there when I was on a 6-fight win streak, and I had the company behind me, pumping me out, giving me main events, and you buy into your own hype a little bit, and you start to believe you're this person who you really aren't. I'm just a normal person like every other fighter in this, but you buy into your own hype, and I think my opponent's probably experiencing that right now. 15-0, it's kind of hard not to be a little confident and cocky, and you got the odds makers behind them. You got the media and everyone saying, oh my God, this guy's unstoppable. Like, he's just another human being like myself, and he's had an equal amount of time to prepare, and we'll see what happens Saturday night, but I'm confident I'm going to go in there and get the W.
Hey, Dan. What's the super secret Russian camp that you went to?
It was here in Vegas, but I don't want to. When it all happened, it was just like a weird political time with like the war and everything, and I don't want to get anyone in trouble just because like I was out there grinding. That's all that matters. I've actually trained with the Russians a lot. I've trained with Khabib. I've trained with Islam Makhachev. I've trained with all the best guys that are the top Russian prospects in this game, and now I get to fight one. But I've done a lot of training with them in the past, and there's I know, although they're all a little bit different, they have a similar approach and a similar style. So I'm used to the style, and I've gotten hundreds of rounds, literally hundreds of rounds with these guys where I was sparring 3 times a week, and that's something I never do, but I followed the Russian training program where I'm sparring 3 times a week and grappling every single day, and I can't count how many rounds that I've gotten with them. So, yeah, that's all that all adds up, and here I am.
You say that you've wrestled with Khabib and Islam and all of the killers over in Extreme Couture. On tape, what do you think of Movsar's wrestling?
I think his wrestling is really good. I mean, overall, as an MMA fighter, he's really good. He's able to put everything together really well. His ability to anticipate and know when guys are like, he knows when to fit in on takedowns and knows when to strike with guys. And typically, when you watch him fight, if he has a little bit better stand up, he won't even go to the wrestling. He'll just stay and strike with guys if he has a little bit better stand up. But I think it's what we haven't seen from Movsar, and what we haven't seen is his ability to face adversity. I've faced a lot of adversity in my life, and I've overcome a lot of obstacles and a lot of mountains, and I've climbed a lot of mountains as well. And he's on the mountaintop right now, but he doesn't know there's another valley ahead of him to get to the next peak, and that's me. I'm the valley. So I'm excited to be the one to put a 1 on his record. But at the end of the day, he's a great fighter. He's a great test, and I'm just excited.
Did you also go out to Arizona?
I did. Yeah. I thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I went and trained with Cejudo for. I went for 5 days. I went out, trained with him, and then I went to the fights to support Justin. But yeah, that was a nice little, I guess you could call it downtime, because we didn't train super hard, but we broke down like just the fundamentals, the philosophy of fighting. He explained to me his philosophy, and I just try to take little bits and pieces from all the greats, from Khabib, from Justin Gaethje, from Henry Cejudo, and all the guys that I've been able to be around and learn from, and to make it my own, make my own style, and make my own. I don't even know. I feel like I've really grown a lot, but I've taken that time. Say if I got this fight on like a 8-week notice, I wouldn't have the courage to go out and like get out of my comfort zone and go to Colorado and do things out of my typical normal routine. But because I had 17 weeks to prepare, I got to like actually make it fun and do different things and get out of my comfort zone, because I knew I had so much time to like. It's always I guess the anxiety you get is more so about like being in shape and making weight within 8 weeks, but having 17 weeks, there's no excuse for me to not be in shape. And so it's given me that freedom, and having that freedom has also kind of just enhanced my mind and my spirit to go out there and have fun and take risk, and yeah.
Awesome. And finally for me, win Rocky win, what'd you go with the t-shirt choice?
I don't know. It's just like a little symbolism, like I stated earlier. I'm fighting Drago, man. I'm fighting Khabib, and I'm Rocky. I'm the guy they count out. I'm not supposed to win this fight. That's what the odds say. I'm not supposed to win, but don't believe in that shit.
Awesome. Thank you.
Dan, thanks for taking the time. Heading into the fight, co-main, you've been here, main, all that. How great has the experience been to be able to get the father, Dan Ige, the hype Dan Ige? Like, what have you taken little by little to put together the best version of yourself?
It's literally just time, because you can't learn something right away. Everything takes time, and that's how you build perseverance, is going through daily struggles, learning new things. Becoming a father was very hard. I'm super blessed and fortunate to have a great wife who does a majority of the parenting, so I can go out there and work hard. She helps me help her at the end of the day, or vice versa. So we definitely help each other. We have a good team, a good structure, and I think that's super important, because I used to, I don't know, I was a very selfless fighter, I guess. And this is a selfish sport, they say. And being selfish was something that I've always had a hard time with. So it's like literally like after training, I should be focusing on what am I going to feel, what am I going to put in my body. But my first instinct is, okay, what does my wife need to eat and what does my son need to eat? And then I'll just eat whatever they eat. But it's like this is something you grow like in a marriage, grow as a team. And we had this conversation probably right before fight camp. I was like, hey, let's just like talk about this now. And so there's no like expectations. Like either I'm going to fend for myself for every meal to make sure I'm fueled, or you're going to make me every meal. And she's like, okay, you fend for yourself. So that was like something that's definitely taken a lot of stress off my plate, because I do stress a lot about, my family and my other livelihood. But now it's just like I've figured out how to kind of separate them. Even though they're my fuel, they're my motivation, you kind of have to separate family and fighting, because it's a crazy sport, and it's a brutal and a ruthless sport. And at the end of the day, it's like I got another guy trying to essentially kill me. If there's no ref in there, like we're trying to kill each other. That's what we do. And I mean, you could look at this as a sport and points and all that, but like no, you have to go in there with a killer instinct. And I kind of didn't have that. Speaking of my last fight, like I didn't have that with Josh Emmett. He's a nice guy. I remember I've had not really a relationship, but like being around him at the PI when he was doing his knee rehab, I was doing like shoulder rehab, and like he was always a nice guy. And then we're at the weigh-ins, literally about to walk out on stage. It was like me, my coach Eric, Josh, and Joey, his coach, and we're just chatting the whole way, all the way up till we face off. And something in me like didn't really want to hurt him, because I was talking to Justin Gagey after the fight, and he's like, did you want to kill him the whole time? I'm like, good question, but no, maybe for a split second I wanted to kill him, but there was never like, I didn't want to kill him the whole time. So you have to take away that like personal relationship. So I'm sure Mobstar is a nice guy, but I see him as a little evil bastard trying to take away from my family. So I'm going to go out there and treat him that way.
All right, man. And lastly, for me, not that Dan Balboa needs any more motivation, but your opponent let us know that he's predicting a first-round finish. Comments on that?
He could predict whatever he wants. I've never been finished in my career. I've fought the absolute killers of killers in this division, and if he's any different, he hasn't finished anyone in his career. He finished some guys in the regional promotions, but never in the UFC, and he hasn't fought the high-level guys that I've faced and I've finished. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully he can back up his talk, but at the end of the day, we're going to fight, and, good luck to him.
Man, thank you, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
Is that the most Justin Gaethje question ever? Like,
yeah, well, I don't know, dude. Yeah. No, for real, dude. Talk about like learning how to take risks. Just go surround yourself, go live with Justin Gagey for a month, and it's a crazy mother effort.
This is a slightly off-topic question. I have no idea if you'll care about this. Did you care that Johnny Depp just beat Amber Heard in court and got $15 million off her?
I don't know. Good for him. I don't really follow those. I see a little bit online and like read the memes and stuff, but I didn't really get into the case. But 15 million, good for him.
I've got another one for you. Have you ever in an argument pooped in your bed?
Never. Neither has my wife, so.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Sure thing. Sweet. Okay, thank you.